and go.
Okay, good morning again, guys. Today we're continuing on from last week. It's really using the same thing, except this time you'll be using the tangent formula as well. And then you have like kind of the rest of the problems to do for this week's assignment. All right, so coming over here, our first one is to write it as a single expression. So these are pretty easy. You just have to find that and realize it's one of those over there. So we have cosine, cosine, which is obviously this one instead of this one. So I know it's this formula right there. And I have to determine if it's plus or minus. Okay, I have a minus here. So a minus over there translate into a plus on this side. Okay, so we have a plus. So we're doing cosine of alpha plus beta. And I just have to put alpha and beta in there. 73 degrees plus 17 degrees. That's cosine of 90 degrees. Okay, and I want you to note something as well. They told us to write it as a single expression. It doesn't mean to solve it. So that answer is 0, but that's what they're asking for right there, a single expression. You can see it here when I have x's in there. I won't be able to get the answer, but I'll write it as a single expression, okay? All right, so this is our tangent formula here, and I have a plus on the top. I'm gonna come over here. The way tangent works is whatever the sign is of this function here, that's the same on the top, but the opposite on the bottom. So if I had a plus here, maybe a plus here and a minus on the bottom. That's how that operates. So we have a plus on top and a minus on the bottom. So we have a plus. So we have alpha plus beta, and then we'll be using this formula here. Okay? All right. And our first angle is alpha. It's x over 2. Plus our second angle is x over 3. Those are fractions. I need a common denominator. I'll put them both over 6 I have here. I'll times this by 3 and this by 3. That'll give me 3x over 6. Don't cancel that. It'll be back to where you started from. You're trying to change it to have a common denominator. Okay, and this one is 3, so I'll multiply by 2, multiply the top by 2 to be fair. That'll get me 2x. And then finishing up here, 3x plus 2x is 5x over 6. And that is my finished answer for that one. All right. Okay, on to our third example here. Okay, write the exact value of tangent of 5 over 12. What we're doing now is they're giving me one I can't do. We did this last week. I have to break it into one of these formulas and choose different angles that represent it. Okay, so I need 2 angles that I know the value of that equal 5/12. Okay, so I thought about 8 pi over 12 minus 3 pi over 12. When I reduce those are both ones that I know. Okay, and then what I'll do is plug those into there and I'll be able to get an answer for that. All right, so 8 12ths minus 3 12ths, so we have a minus situation here. Let's reduce those to values that we know. This is tangent of, if I divide by 4, that's 2 pi over 3, that's one we know, and this is 1/4 pi, pi over 4. Those are values that we know. And we have a minus, we're going to plug those values into the formula over here. Okay, again, we have a minus, so that will be a minus on top and a plus on the bottom for this formula. So, tangent of 2 pi over 3 minus tangent of pi over 4 over 1 plus tangent of 2 pi over 3 times tangent of pi over 4. Right? If you remember our values for tangent, the 45-degree angles, or the pi over 4s, are 1, either plus or minus. And the values for a 60-degree angle are √3, and for a 30 is √3 over 3. So let's plug these in here. So tangent of 2 pi over 3. Let's talk about these guys. That's in quadrant 2. Tangent's negative there, so it's going to be a negative value. Tangent of 2/3 pi, a third pi is 60, so the answer is √3, and it will be negative because I'm in quadrant 2 there. This is negative √3. Tangent of pi over 4 is in quadrant 1, it's positive, and the answer is 1 there. Okay, on the bottom. Tangent of 2/3 pi, we already figured out, is negative √3. Whoops, that didn't come out very good, but tangent of pi over 4 is a 1. Okay, so this ends up being minus 1 over 1 minus root 3. And there's no need to simplify that really. If I were to do that, I would multiply by 1 plus root 3 and 1 plus root 3, and I doubt it would be any better. But if your answers don't match to the back of the book, you could check that and try to simplify that. But that's basically our answer right there. All right? Okay, last problem. It's pretty tight in here, but this is one like we did last week. Again, we're just using the tangent formula. So they're telling me what sine is and cosine is. Somewhere they have to tell me what quadrant they're in. They said in this problem that alpha and beta are obtuse angles, meaning what for a triangle they're bigger than 90 and less than 180. So I know both alpha and beta angles are in quadrant 2. And just like last week, I set up with the values. They told me sine was 28 over 53. That's opposite over hypotenuse. I went ahead and did Pythagorean theorem. My answer for the remaining side was 45. Notice it's negative because x is going in the negative direction on that one there. Cosine is negative 13 over 85, so I put those in. Adjacent over hypotenuse, use the Pythagorean theorem. Found this side to be 84. Notice that one's positive because it's going in the upward direction. Okay, and those are going to be the values that I need to do this problem. They want me to do tangent of alpha minus beta. I went ahead and set this up. This is the minus. Okay, so again, that's a minus. So the top will be the same. It'll be a minus. So minus goes in here. And the bottom, if it's a minus, becomes a plus. That's the opposite sign down there. Okay? And I went ahead and did my work. Tangent of alpha, that's up here. Opposite over adjacent, negative 28 over 45. Minus, notice this is the minus from the formula here. Don't mess that up, that's a lot of errors that students make. Okay, and then I have tangent of beta. Down here, tangent is opposite over adjacent, negative 84 over 13. All right, and the bottom, those two values go in as a plus. Okay, and those are the values of tangent of alpha and beta right there. So I put that in. All right, at the top we have to have a common denominator. I multiplied 45 times 13. I got 585 here. To make this be that, I times by 13 and by 13. I got negative 364 over 585, excuse me. Minus a negative becomes plus, and I multiplied this by 45, and I did that by 45 to get the denominator. That gave me 3780 over 585. The nice thing is that we have a common denominator already. Also, if you look at the bottom, when I multiply 45 times 13 in this part of the fraction, I'm going to get 585 as well. Over here, I'll be able to cancel both of those out right away and eliminate that whole part of the problem. Okay? All right, so I have 1 plus, a minus times a minus is a positive, and 20, remember multiplying fraction, that is multiply across the top and the bottom. 28 times 84 is 2352. Okay, so here we are at the end of the problem. All right, I have 3780 minus 364, I have to do that. And this is going to be 585 over 585, and I'll add those up. Let's get those values right now. So I have 3780 minus 364. That's going to get me 3416 on the top. Okay, on the bottom, I have 585 plus 2352. That's going to get me 2937. Okay, and hopefully that we've seen enough times in class that you know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to multiply to get rid of the denominator by 585 on the top and the bottom, which will work out really slick in this problem. And that leaves me with 3416 over 2937, and that's my answer there. All right. Okay, remember to email me or make a comment of any problems you're having difficulty on the homework. And Friday we have our office hours. I'll be happy to do any of those problems with you, whatever help you need. So, all right, sign off. Have a great week.